So as you start 10C, one of the first units you do is numbers. And in the numbers unit, students often have a hard time going between entire radicals to mixed radicals or back and forth. So I just want to review that as some of you might be starting summer school soon. So the first part, when you're converting to mixed radicals, it is sometimes helpful to make this list where if you just take the numbers 1 through 10 and just keep going and square them all and then write down what the answer is. Sometimes this list is helpful because when you are splitting up your radicals, right, you want to use your rules that you know about radicals, and that's you can multiply two numbers together to make this radical, and they would just both be under the radical sign. So the two numbers I would pick here are root 16 times root 6. So the reason why I picked those numbers is because 16 times 6 is 96. And the root of 16 is a perfect root. So I want one of the numbers that go under the root sign to be one of the numbers I see in my list, because the root of 16 is 4, so we can take that and replace it with a 4. And then root 6 we can't do anything with. So now we have an entire radical that we've made a mixed. Same idea with the next one. If I continued my list, 11 squared is 121. So I can split this up into the root of 121 times the root of 2. The root of 121 is 11, so replace that, so 11 root 2. So we keep going with all of these. We just are always looking for when you split up your root to have a perfect root. So for this one, the root of 180 can be 36 times 5, but this number, negative 2 over 3, that's still there, and it's just getting multiplied by whatever we end up with. So the root of 36 is 6, so you're going to have negative 2 over 3 times root of 36, replace it with 6, times root 5. Then we can plug this part into the calculator, negative 2 over 3 times 6, and that's going to equal negative 4, so you have negative 4 root 5 is your final answer. So we keep going here. The goal here is just to really be familiar with these perfect squares. That will help you a lot. So like for this one, we have root 49 times the root of 5. We pick it because the root of 49 is 7, so 7 root 5. F, that 4 is out front. That's okay. We're still splitting up the root of 338. This one would be 169 times the root of 2. And that is going to be the root of 169 is 13. So we'll have 4 times 13 times the root of 2, and that will be 52 root 2. And then that last one, we get this really big number, which we might not see right away, and that's okay. Sometimes if you don't realize the biggest root, you just have to split it up further when you're done. So that's going from that's going from entire to mixed. The next part is going from a mixed to entire, which I think is often easier. So to put something back under the root sign, you have to square it and multiply by what's there. So this would be 2 squared times 6, which would give us the root of 24. So again, put that back under the root sign, square it, multiply by what's there. So we'll have all under the root sign, 3 squared times 7 will be root 63. Keep going. Put 5 back under the root sign by squaring it, multiply by what's there. We'll have the root of 375. And, sorry about that. I'll just do these ones a little bit faster. 12 squared times 2 will give you the root of 288. Here we have 3 squared times 25, all under the root sign, will give you root 225. With F, just be careful. If it's negative, the negative stays out front. The number still gets squared and multiplied by what's there. So this will end up being the negative root of 192. We don't have to worry for 9 root 10 because there's no negative. So just put the 9 under the root sign, square it, multiply by what's there. And the last one, similar to F, we need to keep the negative out. Just move the number back under the root sign and multiply by what's there. So negative 80. So that's our first part. And I think going into entire is easier as long as you remember, square it, multiply what's there, and all stays under the root sign. The last part we take a look at is now applying what we know into other problems. So like Pythagorean theorem. So here we're finding the missing length and then converting to a mixed radical if we can. So for instance, we want to find this side. This would be our A, our B, our C. So we'd have 4 squared plus 8 squared equals c squared. This left-hand side, we can just plug this in. 4 squared plus 8 squared is going to be 80. And then square root both sides. So now we'll know that our value x is going to equal the root of 80. If we want it in a mixed radical, we can split this up like we were doing in the first examples to root 16 times root 5. The root of 16 is 4, so 4 root 5 is our value for x. Our next idea, same concept. We want to figure out the x. So we'll have 5 squared plus 6 squared equals x squared. This side here ends up being 61. And if you take 61 and take the square root of it, we can't split that up any further. So this is as far as we can take it. There is no perfect root that divides from 61. And then this last one gets a little bit harder. We do want to find this side x. To do that, we need to have this shared missing side. So I'm going to look at this triangle first. I'd have 4 squared plus, I'll just call this missing side y. Y squared equals 6 squared. Solving for the y value, we'd have 6 squared minus 4 squared, just moving this to the other side, equals y squared. And that will be root 20 equals y. Now that I know that, now I can solve looking at this triangle. I would have root 20 squared plus x squared equals 8 squared, and I want to solve for x. So I'm going to move my root 20 squared to the other side, and if you square root, that all just cancels. So I'm going to subtract 20 to the other side, and I'll see that x squared will equal 8 squared minus 20 is going to be the root of 44. So this side is 44, and then I'm going to square root both sides. Then I can split this last bit up to 2 root 11 because I would have had 4 times root 11. The root of 4 is 2. So I hope you found that helpful. If you did, please subscribe and let me know in your comments if I can do any other video for you. Thank you for watching.